Hey there. Have you ever been in a place or a position where you were ready to do something and you knew what you needed to do, or at least most of what you needed to do, and but there was hesitation, right? There was hesitation. You couldn't quite put your finger on it, and then someone came along and kind of said, "Hey, yeah, you should do that." Some kind of confirmation, some kind of something. They gave you permission, right? And maybe you didn't even know you were asking for permission, silently asking for permission. But that's what I want to talk to you about tonight, because sometimes you just need permission. I'm Crystal Fry. I'm your personal identity coach and transformational communication strategist. And I wanted to come on tonight and talk to you about that and how that permission has really changed and impacted my life. There are three ladies in particular that I am really thinking about when it comes to this. And I don't even know if they realize how much permission they have actually given me in my life and the time that I've been spending with them. Um, but we often find ourselves in places where we can see what we want. We know where we want to go, right? We've set those goals, those dreams, all of those things, and we've even mapped out a plan, but we hesitate. We have something going on, quite sure. We just don't know how, we're just not sure. And then that person comes along and validates what we're doing. And I'm not talking about like seeking external approval. What I'm talking about is someone comes along and there's that one encouraging word that they share with you. Or you've been having a thought and an idea, and someone else comes along and confirms what you are saying or what you've been thinking. Sometimes we wait for that permission. And so I want to actually give anyone who's watching tonight, say hello as you come in. I'd love to greet you, whether you're watching on either channel of Facebook or whether you're watching on YouTube. I would love to give you permission to do the thing that you have been waiting to do, that you have been holding back on, that you have prepared yourself for, that you have positioned yourself for, but you haven't taken that next step to really fully step into it. I want to give you that permission, because I didn't even realize that that is exactly what I was waiting for. Now, granted, there was a lot that came before that. Working with my first coach, there were a lot of things that I needed to learn. There was a lot of mess. My good friend and coach Rashonda Pratt often talks about the mess within your message. There was a whole lot of mess that I had to turn into a message, and I got help that I needed along the way to help me form and craft that and really understand it. But even going back to working with my very first coach, with April Lewis, and having her be there with me to ask questions that needed to be asked so that I could dig deep inside of me and figure out all of these things that I've been trying to figure out for a really long time by myself. And I was just really struggling with it, and I was really done with it. And then she came along and really kind of pulled back the curtains that I didn't want to pull back. And don't get me wrong, I am very grateful for it. I am in a much better place now than I was then. But I unconsciously needed that permission to be okay to do that, for it to be okay for me to be exposed and vulnerable and face some of the issues that I needed to face and deal with and work with and try to understand, why I was attaching my value and my worth to different things that, let's be honest, those things, job, family, all of these other things, they're a part of what we do, but they're not who we are. And so many times we attach ourselves to those external things. We attach ourselves to those things that they have meaning for us, but they can be gone tomorrow. And when we attach our value and our self-worth to something, I'll use a job, for example, because that's the best example that I can give. When you attach your value and your self-worth to that job that you have, what happens if it goes away tomorrow? What happens if your company gets bought by something, by another organization and they go through and clean house? You guys, it happens all the time. And it doesn't matter if you've spent years there or months there or it's your first day on the job. Everything can change like that. But when we attach all of who we are to that, we struggle to understand what to do next. And so going through the process that I went through with my first coach to kind of really get all of that mess kind of cleared out and get down to the real me, not just all the surface stuff, but really the person, the core of the person that I am, that allowed me to let go of those attachments. And so, like I said, she gave me permission. And she didn't say, Crystal, you have my permission to do this. Through the process, she gave me that permission to be okay with sometimes not being okay, to be okay with not knowing all the answers, to be okay with not being okay with where I was, with what I was doing. She gave me that permission because of the environment that she provided for me, because of the trust, the level of trust that we had together. That really was it was life-changing. Let's just be honest here. It was very life-changing for me. So I highly encourage, if you're in that place, that you find someone to work with. You guys know that I'm available in that capacity, but there are lots of people, and you have to find that right person for you. So let me say that you have to find that right person for you, because you need that trust and that connection in order to feel as if you have permission to open up, to let go, to process, to deal with things. And then, as I was moving forward in through that, I got connected with my coach, Rashonda Pratt, who really taught me how to craft all of that in and bring it to a place where I could readily and openly share it, and give me permission to share that story, be comfortable with sharing that story with all of you, with the hopes that in turn, that would help you be comfortable and give you permission to share your story. She's fond of saying that stories give people permission. Stories give other people permission to tell their story. And that's exactly the whole point. So I was thinking about this a lot earlier today, and that sometimes we really just, and we don't even realize it, but sometimes we just need permission. And so I want to give that to you. If there is anything that you are, kind of holding back on, or you're kind of waiting on, or you're kind of on the fence about, because you're not sure of how it's going to go, how it's going to turn out, what people are going to think about you if you do it, I want to encourage you to do it. Try it. Stick your toe in, stick your whole foot in, and then stick another foot in. Get in there and do it. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we get one life. And that was something else that was very brought very much to the forefront through all of that work that I had to do on myself. We only get one life. And so many of us spend our one trip around the sun, being so caught up in all of the other things that we forget to give ourselves permission to live our one life, to actually enjoy our one life, to find what we're passionate about, to pursue the dreams that we have, to create the reality that we want and that we desire. The word desire comes from, I'm sure it's probably Latin, but it means desire, of the Father, from the Father. The dreams and the desires that you have were planted in you way before they came to the surface. They're part of how you are meant to share your gifts and your goodness with the world. So when you have a dream, when you have a desire to do something, don't just brush it off, even if it seems like super far-fetched. Trust me, I get that one. Where I am now on my list of dreams, my goal list, and all of that, and the things that I'm working towards is so incredibly far away from where that was, that what that list looked like a couple of years ago. It's incredible. It's like it's a completely different person's list. And it kind of really is, because the person that I was a few years ago, while I love her and I thank her and for all the lessons that she taught me, she is not me. And I have no desire to go back to that, because that is not who I am. The person that I am today, that is who I am. Not the person who was so concerned about what everybody would think that I didn't do anything that was good for me. I did stuff that was good for everybody else because, well, that's how I thought it was supposed to work. Yeah. So I just want to, and I'm going to wrap up because I didn't want to be on here very long tonight. I really just wanted to share, give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to change your scenery. Give yourself permission to change your perspective. Give yourself permission to, I'm going to use a metaphor here, move into a different apartment. Okay, as you're, imagining where you are and everything else, give yourself permission to elevate and move into the penthouse on the top floor, where you have more space, where you have a better view, where you can see farther, because, the penthouse is on the top, so it's higher up, you can see farther. Give yourself permission to move yourself, to elevate yourself into a place where you desire to be. And here's something else. If you have that desire, you deserve it. You deserve it. So stop telling yourself that you don't, and stop allowing other people to tell you that you don't. Stop believing that, you're not good enough. All of those things. Give yourself permission to pursue and go after what it is that you want in this life with everything that you've got. Full force, go get it. If you need help, you can always reach out to me. I'm happy to have that conversation. You can send me a message. You can send me an email. I just one more plug and reminder about the course that I have that's kicking off in just another week. There's still time to register for it if you want to. We go deep into the self-discovery work that was absolutely critical for me personally, because where I was not where I wanted to be. And I didn't know what else to do. I didn't have a blueprint. So now that I have come through that journey, I've turned around and created a blueprint for other people to follow, because this is what I needed when I was in that place. So the information for that is down here at the bottom. But like I said, if you have questions, or you need some help on how to figure out what to do next, you say, okay, Crystal, I've given myself permission to elevate. I've given myself permission to go above and beyond where I am right now. What do I do next? And that looks different for everybody, but I would be more than happy to have a conversation with you about that so that you can get on that path. Again, whether it's with me or whether it's with someone else, I want to see you get on that path to living the life that you are envisioning, that you are imagining, that you are dreaming about. Because our lifespans are very short. In the grand scheme of things, even if you live to be 116 years old, that's a sneeze on the grand timeline. So don't waste. That's my impassioned plea. Don't waste any more of your time waiting for permission. I'm giving it to you right now. Go and do the thing that makes you happy. Go and live the life of your dreams. All right, I'm going to sign off. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for joining me, and I will see you again very soon. My name is Crystal Fry, and I am your personal identity coach and transformational communication strategist. Have a great night.